Welcome to the podcast. This is another MongoDB update for the week of November 2nd, 2020. We've got Adrienne Tacke back in to give us updates on MongoDB Atlas, MongoDB Charts, some interesting stuff happening in the world of Hacktoberfest. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the episode.
You're listening to the MongoDB Podcast. MongoDB Podcast? Exploring the world of software development, data, and all things MongoDB. And now your hosts, Michael Lynn and Nick Raboy.
Hey, Adrienne, welcome back. How are you?
Hey, Mike. I am glad to be back. Thanks for having me again.
Right on. Hey, well, let's get right into the updates. What's going on in the world of MongoDB?
Totally. So we are at the end of Hacktoberfest, and I believe it was an awesome success for MongoDB. We had a total of 233 PRs created, and all were merged. So that is awesome. But I think what's even more awesome is a lot of first-time contributors who were super afraid to actually contribute to open source. They finally did so via the WildAid app. So congrats to you all for participating in your first Hacktoberfest and possibly contributing to open source for the first time. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
So what I want to remind you all is if you did contribute a PR to the WildAid app, please don't forget to collect your community forum badges if you did submit a PR. In the community forums that we have on MongoDB, we have a lot of badges that you can collect. One for opening your first topic, for answering a question. We made a couple limited edition ones specifically for Hacktoberfest. So be sure to go over there and check those out.
Now, do you have to have a PR merged in order to get one of those?
I believe it's if you just submitted it, but we can double check. There is a topic on the community forums that details exactly what counts to get the badge, and you should see that pinned. And lastly, regarding Hacktoberfest, we want feedback. So please, if you did participate, if you didn't participate, let us know what caused that decision. What did we do well? What did we not do well? Let us know. Open up a topic on the community forums, and we'd be happy to hear that so that we can improve for our next time.
So moving on, we have an exciting announcement from the world of Atlas. So MongoDB Atlas is our database as a service. And moving forward, you'll now have the ability to deploy a MongoDB instance, not only in the cloud, but across the cloud providers. As you know, the three cloud providers are represented in MongoDB Atlas: Google, Microsoft Azure, and AWS. Mm-hmm. You now have the ability to deploy a MongoDB instance across those three providers, which that provides an amazing amount of flexibility. And imagine the leverage you can have being able to leverage the products in each of those cloud providers and have that great connectivity, secure connections between all of those. So MultiCloud is here. Go check that out. More information available on the MongoDB.com blog. Sahir Azam, our head of product, has put out a blog article talking about that.
Speaking of new other features, we also have one that has just been released last week for MongoDB Charts, and that's the lookup field in Charts. So if you've ever used the $lookup operator in MongoDB aggregation framework, this is similar. So in Charts, you'll be able to link and leverage data in a chart from multiple collections. There's a really great example of this on the MongoDB.com blog, and it talks about how to create charts from YouTube data. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. And I think if you wanted a deeper dive, you also did a podcast episode, right?
We did, yeah. So Nick and I sat down with Matt Fairbrass and Tom Hollander. Tom is the product manager for Charts. So that's episode 20 of the podcast. Go check that out if you're interested in learning more.
Sweet. I don't know about you, but I've used dashboards or tried to build dashboards before, and it can be super overwhelming, and there's just too many things to do. Sometimes you just need to get a dashboard up and running, and I actually use MongoDB Charts to create the Hacktoberfest Dashboard. So that's how we got all those neat little stats there, and it was super simple. I don't say that lightly. We were able to just get that data from our Atlas cluster and just get the charts that I wanted to see really quick. I did that in about maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dashboard looks great. Did you use the GitHub API to get that data?
Yes, I believe Shiri Cabral, who is also the maintainer of the WildAid repos, she was dumping a lot of that data via the GitHub API into a shared cluster. And so we were able to create some of our dashboards from that.
It looks fantastic, and I have tried to build similar dashboards in the past. And while it's definitely possible, there are frameworks out there that can help.
Mhm.
Working with something like D3JS, that's I'm looking at maybe a day to get started, just to get all the data in place and get the project
Totally.
configured. So an hour is awesome, and Charts is definitely a great product.
Absolutely.
So moving on, we have an announcement from our engineering team, and it's about the release schedule moving forward. Starting with MongoDB 5.0, we're going to maintain a quarterly release schedule. Now, if you're familiar with the way MongoDB has released in the past, it's been one massive release per year. And what this will do is it'll bring faster innovation. We'll have quarterly dot releases and then release candidates in the middle there between the quarters, and then another massive major release per year. So pretty exciting stuff there. I was really amazed when I read the article from Dan Passett, our head of engineering, co-head of engineering. He talks about the effort involved in releasing MongoDB 4.4, our latest version, 4.4, 270,000 engineering hours,
Whoa.
and just about 5,200 tickets to bring 4.4 to production. That's pretty incredible.
That is amazing. That's no small feat.
Right? Yeah. And to think that all of that takes place in about a year. So pretty amazing effort on the part of our awesome engineering team.
Totally. And I think the last thing that I'd like to bring up in our update is as part of our Built with MongoDB series, we just published a new blog about Save Your Wardrobe, which is this
Ooh,
awesome fashion tech startup building a digital wardrobe management platform to enable sustainable living. So Hasna Kourda is an engineer that has been working with this startup, and it's super, super interesting. They use MongoDB Atlas to scale this application. In fact, they founded the company in 2017, but the app just went live in March of 2020. And over the past 6 months, they've already seen more than 20,000 downloads of the app. But you should really check out this blog post. It's also available on the mongodb.com blog, and it is one of the more interesting and awesome stories that we've seen from the community this past week.
I love it. I love it. And Save Your Wardrobe is a part of the MongoDB for Startups program, and I had the pleasure of working with them as they worked through the startups program. So it's great to see that the success that they're achieving. Fantastic.
Sweet.
Great. Well, Adrienne, thanks for helping with the updates. Anything else to add before we go?
Nope, I think that is it. I'm looking forward to now thinking about Thanksgiving recipes that I'm going to be making for two.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. Have a question or a suggestion for the show? Visit us in the MongoDB community forums at community.mongodb.com.